Hi, it's Majo John Madden in the Los Troncones section of Victoria, Mexico. And those are the Los Troncones mountains out there. The locals only know the Los Troncones mountains. They don't talk about the Sierra Madre Oriental mountain range, which goes north to south through pretty much all of Mexico. But I'm interested because if you go just an hour south of here, apparently these peaks, which rise up much more dramatically than my Appalachian mountains did back in western North Carolina, go up to 12,000 feet, which is twice as high as anything in the Appalachian mountains. So that's where I am. And we have a bunch of dogs on this compound. My car is back over there. The black van, it's really the first car you see to the left. Been here 9 days now. They've had to send several parts out for machining. It's a big deal. It would be just astronomically expensive back in the US with a licensed mechanic, but I'm hoping to get out of here for $1,000. So that's a big chunk for me, 700 of which I've already paid. So this is kind of a random response to a news item because I'm building off of the name of a reporter on National Public Radio was Sydney Lumpkin. And I said, oh yeah, she's a woman. And it reminded me of a first and only date I had in my 40s. And I've been doing a series of stuff about old girlfriends. This Sydney, whose last name I don't remember, never quite made it to the rank of girlfriend. She was somebody I knew from the community. I don't know, we were in some kind of group together. And she was foxy, kind of sexy in a bookish way. I think she had glasses, but she was smart and sexy. And we had one date, and it was maybe the most phenomenally terrible first date you'd ever want to hear. So I think it's a good story. Sydney and I we were going to go to see Rocky 3. I think it was Rocky 3. But before that, we went to some party at some friends of hers' house, and we had hash brownies. We're talking the 80s here, you know? We had hash brownies, which did not seem to me to hit at all, but they finally did at the movie. So I'm driving. We go to the movies, some multiplex in Syracuse, New York, I think is where we were. And we see Rocky 3. I don't know, one of the Rockies. You may know better than me. He's sitting at Adrian's hospital bedside. She's in a coma. And what you can tell from the filming is that he's keeping her on this earth plane by the force of his love. And so I'm a little scrambled on some of the details, but basically what I get is, well, because I was quite intoxicated at this point, the hash brownies had hit in the middle of the movie, and I'm thinking, watching that's what it was like between Sandy and me. We tried to keep each other in the relationship by the power of our love, even though it was a hopelessly, disastrously terrible marriage where we were so completely not meant for each other at all. But I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm so stoned, going, that's what we did. I kept her in the relationship by the power of my love. This is a terribly sad thing I'm remembering because it was ridiculous. Why were we even doing that? So I'm sitting there in the movie going, this is really sad. And I think I started to weep. The way I'm going to tell the story now is that I started to weep, and Sydney knew something was up, and she said, what's up? I said, I think I'm feeling very sad. And then the movie switched, and it's a fight scene. So boom, 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 boom. Everything pretty dramatically shifted, and stoned as I was, that was incredibly visually dramatic. So we get out to the car, and Sydney says, so something hit you in there? And I said, yeah, I think I need to cry. This is what you want to hear from the man on your first day. Yeah, I think I need to cry. And I I begin to weep. And Sydney moves in and gives me a hug and starts to pat me like people do when they're not comfortable with crying. I said, stop patting me. I just need to cry. I'm going to cry. And I proceeded to weep buckets. And then it was over and I felt great. And Sydney was like, fuck, he's a maniac. Because she was, like so many women back then, just not comfortable with a guy crying. But I had mastered the art of crying through years and years of peer counseling. So, never heard from Sydney again. And I was like, fine, that's fine. We're pretty clearly not compatible either. And I don't want to go through this again in another movie. Woo! Okay. That may have been my worst first date. Let's see, I might come up with something worse. I still might come up with something worse. But for now, that's going to stand as my worst first date ever. Sydney, if I knew your last name, no, I would not look you up at all. No, I think we'll just let go of that one. There's no unfinished. I don't think there's anything unfinished about that relationship. Bye.